Hello and welcome. So today I would like to share a guide, a beginner's guide in precise in using Framer Studio. So basically Framer Studio is a software for prototyping and wireframing to create better prototype for collaborations and stuffs in your teams or individually. Alright, so first thing here, nothing happens right here, and yeah, indeed it's very empty, nothing here. So what you need to do, you want to create your first artboard here. Click the artboard sections on the left side, and on the right side here you can basically choose whatever templates you want to create with. Is it watch or phone or tablet, a computer, or even TV? So you can basically choose based on your preference. But in this tutorial, as an essential, we're going to use phone. So there's a lot of phones down there. I'm going to choose one of them. Of course, let's say Apple iPhone 8. So if you click that, of course, a small white canvas appear in the middle of the workspace here, right? And the name of the canvas is Apple iPhone 8. You can basically change this by double click and then rename it just like what you wanted in your project. So there you go. So the question is, what is the purpose of changing the name? Of course, by changing the name you can give directions to the developers or even the designers to see the workflows of your app. So let's say I'm going to copy by clicking Command C and Command V. And now I have two different artboards, and I want to rename this to, let's say, login screen, login or sign up screen, and I want to rename this to, let's say, profile screen. So now you already notice the difference, right? This one is for login or sign up screen, and this is for profile screen. Later on in the code, you will connect between both of these screens. Let's say if you are able to log in, then you will go to profile, and if you are able to sign up, then you will go to the profile. So something like that in advance. So again, enough about the workspace and canvas. And of course, now we see on the left side here, there's a lot of things going on. Probably you can see artboard as we already made before, and we can see rectangle for object, oval, text, and zoom. And down below here, as you can see, icons here. Basically this is a pre-built in icons that you can use in your application prototyping process in advance here. So there you go. There's a lot of icons you can choose freely, and then you're gonna just drag and drop to the screen, and you want to change the size or everything or colors and stuff. So let's delete this now. Alright, so what is the function of each of these objects? Basically, you already did understand that artboard is to create an artboard, to create what happens in the app prototyping sections, like you need to add probably login screen, profile screen, or camera or whatever, later on. So basically that's an artboard where you work 100%. Now there is this rectangle here. Of course, it's to create a rectangle object or square, based on your preference. And then over here, of course, to create a oval shape object, and text here, of course, to create text, as probably the name's already pretty much obvious to all of you. And zoom, of course, to zoom in to see the details and stuff. And there you go, pretty much easy. So on the right side, on the left sections here, we see that we have another layer names here. So now if you double click, we can't do nothing. Usually when we go double click, we can access what happens, but the question is why we can't do so, because there's basically nothing inside here, right? Now for this tutorial, let's add something there. Now when we double click the login and sign up screen, you can also drag it up, and when you double click it there, you'll see rectangle over here. But if you delete it, nothing happens. Nothing happens, right? Alright, so the next section that you need to understand is about layer positioning. So basically, if you add two different objects inside a layer screen, for example, and then you can drag to the bottom, so it means this rectangle is behind this rectangle. Okay, for tutorial purposes, I shall change to R1 and R2. Okay, so R2 is behind R1 and vice versa. If I drag it up, then of course R2 is in front of R1 in this case. Remember about that. Okay, let's see the proof. Let's go check and change the color here. Okay, so if we drag R2 to behind, then there you go, you can see the change here, right? Alright, that's all about layer positioning. Pretty much easy, and of course you can practice by adding more layers to increase your knowledge in using the software. Oh, anyway, this is pretty weird now. R2 is inside R1. What does it mean? It means that we also able to add sub layers here. So if we check a look at this login sign up screen, we have one layers and we have one sub layers here called R2. But then if we redrag outside or just simply do this, and R2 is part of the layers inside the screen, but vice versa. Let's see, I add R1 to R2. So there you go. So when we drag it up, when we drag R2, we also drag R1, you know, that thing. Very simple. And of course, if we change the position, it will be the same principle. Oops, sorry about that. There you go. So by the way, that's all that you need to know about layer positioning. You can try yourself for more fun things. But anyway, let's continue. So on the right side of the sections, as you can see, there are several dots here, you know, which is called create target here. So what does it mean by creating target and how to use this? So basically, creating target, or this dot right here, is the bridge between design and code section. So you would be able to create an interactions or animations from each object when you run the prototype. So let's take an example here. I'm using the simple rectangle object here. There you go. As you can see, there's the object. Or maybe we can resize it anymore. We can resize it more, and there you go. Much better, right? So now when we click this, as you can see, we have R2 in code over there. So it means that R2 already bridged between the design and code section within the name or identity or ID as R2. So if you take a look at code, we see that R2 turns active here. So what does it mean then? It means that we can customize what happens to R2, okay? But if you delete it, nothing happens, okay? Now, let's redo it and see the code here. Alright, as you can see. Okay, keep in mind as well that you can also select target for the screen. So probably if you touch the screen, then there will be something happen. So this should be selected in, you know, in the design section. And when we go to code, there we go. We see login sign up screen. Wait a minute. Why is it different? This is not like what this written as. Login sign up screen with underscores, but I didn't see any underscores here. What happens? That's because this is the name of the identity, and this is the name of the layer, the original name, and this is the identity. So don't get mistaken. You can basically change to like probably intro, and as you can see, it's automatically changed intro in code. There you go. So when we go to code, there's intro. Much easier to understand, right? Okay, so now let's go to code, which is an interesting part here. Okay, alright, now we are in the code section. Okay, this is going to be very interesting. So what can we do in the code section? Of course, we can create interactions, or what happens with the object. Just like example here, I want to do something with R2, but keep in mind that if you never code before, I believe that you will probably meet some kind of, difficulties in this case, but don't worry about that. I'll try to explain as brief as possible. So here, to interact, let's say I write to create an interaction for R2. Let's say I type R2 dot animate. Okay, means that we animate it. We're going to animate this object here. Now we add maybe X R2, or let's say size. Let's say size is equals to 120, and let's say X, position X should be 50. There you go. As you can see, something happened, right? Now Y is going to, let's say 100. There. We can change to 30, 20, 1, 1000. There you go. As you can see, it works, right? Now we can also go with time or options. Sorry about that. We can go to options. We add time, like maybe 1 seconds, like that. We will add delay for like 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then after that it will move. There you go. So you can play along with it. You can also change the background color basically to maybe white. So when it moves in 5 seconds, it guns disappear, because of course it's going to white. Pretty much cool, right? Go to black. I don't know, is it available? Maybe it is. And after 5 seconds of delay, it gone black. There you go. And the most interesting thing is we can actually resize this, so it'll be a full screen, and we can click Command R to restart, and it move in 5 seconds because we have delay. There you go. Alright, pretty much simple and easy. So that's all about the first tutorial. You can actually add more objects here, like ovals, like that. You can change the color over there. You want to add also, let's say the name. Oops, sorry about that. I haven't added the target here, called oval. So here we can do oval.animate, and then we go probably around size to, let's say 50, that, and X to 100, Y to 100. There you go. Maybe we're going to go background color to white, and options. You can also get time to probably 2 seconds, like that. So, and we want to delete the delay of this thing. There you go. Yeah, pretty much cool, right? So if we reset it, there you go. Very nice looking thing. Or basically we can also change probably to R2 here. We can actually change to let's say border radius here. We can make it more circular. There you go. Very nice. If you reset it, there. If we do 50, wow, nice. If we go to 100, nice, right? Hey, it's working perfectly. Great. So yeah, that's all for today. You can actually add more objects and destroy everything into one piece and learn how to code with this simple basic steps, baby steps. So if you like this video, thank you so much, and if you want more, you can leave a comment down below, and if this video could hit more than 10 likes, I will consider to create the second one for you. And thank you so much. And if you dislike this video, thank you so much as well, because sometimes people like and sometimes they don't. That's how the world works. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.